welcome to NJ Up Next, the show where we highlight New Jersey based businesses, entrepreneurs, and events. I'm your host, Tanya Michelle. Without further ado, please introduce yourself. Tell us your name, where you're from, and the business you're highlighting today.
Hi, my name is Renee Wilson. I am from Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey specifically. And the business I'm highlighting is Ehtyl B. It's a fashion design company.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into entrepreneurship.
Sure. Actually, I got into entrepreneurship because, quite frankly, I had reached the highest level that I could have reached at the job that I was at the time, which was about 5 years ago. And I was bored with it. I was kind of ready to go into entrepreneurship, just wasn't, not so much I wasn't sure how, but I was kind of afraid to take that leap because I had been working in corporate America with that job security for so many years. So, was kind of afraid to leave that security. And then, finally just kind of got to the point where I was ready to go. An opportunity presented itself for me to be able to leave, my job. And then from there, I just kind of went on and started focusing on my business on a more full-time basis.
All right, so the name of your business is Ehtyl B, you said?
Ehtyl B.
Ehtyl B. Okay. So when did you start it, and like what inspired you to start this brand?
Sure. So I started it back in 2019.
Mhm.
And well, first, really quickly, I'll just tell you the name of it. The name of the brand is actually my daughter's name spelled backwards. Her name
Oh,
is Blythe.
okay.
So that's the first thing people always wonder, where'd you get that name from?
Right.
So her name is Blythe. And she's, one of the main inspirations for the brand. As far as why I started it, so my background, I'm Liberian. I wasn't born in Liberia. My parents were born in Liberia. My family was born in Liberia. And that's kind of why I started the brand because, growing up Liberian with our culture, we have so many different African prints that
Right.
we use. A lot of Ankara prints. We have our specific country prints. Different countries in West Africa have their specific country cloth that they
Okay.
use. So I just kind of grew up knowing about all the different prints. And growing up, I always used to see my family in the prints when we have our events, not even just like wedding events, but even just general events, that we
Mhm.
would go to. But I never really saw a lot of variation in styles. The prints were always so beautiful, but it was always something, okay, you're wearing this to the wedding, or you're
Right.
wearing this to, this baby shower, or whatever the case may be. But it was kind of always the same standard designs. So
Oh,
that's kind of what compelled me to want to start the brand, because I'm like, I love these prints, but I would love to see this print in like, gaucho pants, or I love to see this print in like a business suit,
right.
or, something. So that's kind of, what compelled me to start the brand.
And are you by yourself or do you have a team?
No, I am by myself. Every now and again, depending on what I'm doing, as far as if I have certain shows coming up, whether it be, one of different fashion weeks, I will, bring someone on to assist me, for the day. But for the most part, I'm by myself.
Okay. And what products do you sell? What types of apparel?
So pretty much any and everything. Clothes. I mean, the primary focus is women's brands. So any kinds of tops, bottoms, outerwear, swimwear. Although I don't really highlight my swimwear as often. I kind of do that on a request basis. But also do menswear as far as suits, a lot of long coats, and also do children's wear as well.
Okay. So where do you get your inspiration when you make a piece? Like,
I pull from a lot of different places. Some of it honestly is, my daughter. She is she
mhm.
is very, very eccentric with her clothes and with her patterns. And sometimes I see some of the different patterns she puts together and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. So between, her, also just kind of the outside world, whether I'm just kind of walking down the street. I mean, I do a lot of work with with undergraduates at Rutgers University. So, even when I'm on campus, just kind of seeing, what's happening on campus and the different styles that I see out there, or just different events that I go to, I kind of pull inspiration from a variety of those places.
Okay. And is there anyone you may want to collaborate with in the future, or style, maybe?
I would love, love, love to collaborate with Kato Momalu. She was one of the contestants on Project One Runway years ago. Well, she was the first and still to this day the only Liberian contestant, which is why she always stands out to me. And I, since her time on Project Runway, I think she was on there, it was probably like 10, 15 years ago. But I've continued to follow her, and I just love her designs. I love her style. I would honestly love to collaborate with her, for sure.
Oh, that's cool. And what makes your designs different, or your line different from others?
I would say the main thing that really makes it different and stands out is the way that I pair my prints. I don't just always use just the base Ankara print. A lot of designers in my field that use Ankara prints, they kind of use it the same way I do in terms of, using the Ankara prints for like modern designs. The twist that I add on it is that I mix the prints with other fabrics. So for instance, I'll mix the Ankara print with a denim fabric, or I'll mix it with the houndstooth. What I have on now, this is the Ankara print, and this is just like this regular plain, satin, fabric
That's
design.
very
It's not an
pretty.
Ankara print. Yeah. So I just like to mix it with different non Ankara prints fabrics, just to kind of add a little flair to it, make it a little different.
Make it different, right? And what marketing tools do you use to promote your business?
Primarily, and I need to get better at it because I am the worst. But social media, as far as Instagram, Facebook. I have a website. I also have my garments on another external website called fifthboulevard.com. And then I also use a lot of the different fashion shows that I go to when I do the New York Fashion Week, or Atlanta Fashion Week, or whatever fashion weeks I go to. I always use those events as like a heavy promo. I tend to use the models a lot because a lot of these models come here to these different fashion weeks, and they have huge followings, and they're constantly posting things. So I like to take those opportunities when I when I'm at these events and I have these models to just kind of promote.
Right, and that's a great way. And is there any event that you like to do more than others? Any specific event?
I want to do more pop-up shops. I used be pre-pandemic, I used to do pop-up shops relatively often. In Jersey, I would collaborate with a local Jersey. She's a consignment shop owner. Closet Savvy Consignment, and I would collaborate with her often, and I would host pop-up shops in her stores. And then the pandemic hit, and then everything went to hell. So I haven't gone back to doing that since, but I enjoyed it a lot, and that was actually one of the ways that I really would get my brands out often, because I would reach different audiences.
Right.
So I do want to actually go back to doing that. And it's funny too, because I recently reached out to her last week about collaborating and trying to do another pop-up shop before the year end, and then try to kind of plan some more in the spring. So yeah, I definitely want to do that more.
And is there any advice you would like to give an entrepreneur, maybe trying to do a clothing line, or trying to do something similar to what you're doing?
I would say definitely be patient. Having a clothing line, it's difficult because you're not going to see the tangible benefits, the funds immediately. It really does take time. While this is one of the businesses I do have another business, because I work for myself in both my businesses. So I do have another business that I do that's more primary, that brings in more of my income, while I'm trying to bring this business to generate more income. But you really do have to have patience with this, because it takes a lot of time. You can be in it, people are in this business for a number of years before they finally pop, and they finally just get that that one break that really kind of puts them out there. But I mean, it's just time, it's just patience. Just stick with it.
Right.
Most importantly, though, make sure your paperwork on the back end is together, because that's one thing when people do these types of creative businesses,
Mm-hmm.
they completely neglect the paperwork aspect.
Mm.
And legal paperwork, paralegal
Right.
stuff, that's my background. So that's always the first thing. Like, get yourself established, get your whether you want to do it LLC, S Corp,
Right.
however you decide to designate it, get that together, get your taxes together, get the bank accounts, together, have all that stuff in place.
Right.
Because it only helps you in the end when it comes time to file taxes, when it comes time to receive payments, or if you do things like me, I apply for grants for all of my businesses. I'm constantly applying for grants.
Right.
And in order to get those grants, those companies need to see that you're an established business in
Right.
your respective state, and that you have the paperwork to back it up, and that you have a bank account with your business on it so they can deposit the funds into. So,
Exactly.
those are the main things. Just get your paperwork together and have patience.
Okay, so where can our viewers see more of your designs, and where can they purchase them?
So everything is online on my website, which is ehtylb.com, EHTYLB.com. It's also on fifthboulevard.com, and fifth is just spelled out, and then boulevard abbreviated BLVD.com. Or on Instagram as well. I have a marketplace there, and it's at ehtyl.b. On Instagram. So all of those platforms. And I mean, in every season, I do somebody's fashion week. I usually do New York Fashion Week, either at Atlanta Fashion
Yeah,
Week, LA. So you can catch me at somebody's fashion week during the seasons.
that's awesome. Well, we want to thank you so much for being on our show and sharing your brand Ehtyl B with us. But before you go, would you like to play a game with us?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so we have a game called This or That. And basically, I'll give you two choices, and you have to let us know which one is best for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is Apple or Android?
Oh, definitely Android.
White meat or dark meat?
Well, I'm a vegan, so I'd probably have to say
So
no
that's not.
meat.
I always get one that someone's like, I don't even eat that. Okay, silver or gold?
Ooh, silver.
Okay, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Oh, I'm a Christmas Eve baby, so Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Okay. Family Matters or Family Feud?
Oh, Family Matters. Purple.
Amusement park or safari?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll say safari. I don't do roller coasters.
No, I used to, not anymore. Cat or dog?
That's tough. Because I love cats, but I'm allergic to them. But I like dogs too. I'm gonna say dog because I've never had a cat, so I'll say dog.
Okay. So that concludes our show. Again, we want to thank you for coming on our show, promoting your business. That concludes NJ Up Next. Viewers, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Jaamal, aka the Heartbreak Kidd, behind the scenes. Thank you so much, and good night.
Good night. Thank you so much for having me.
Likewise.
And I,